I don't dive, I don't flip, but brother, I know drip.
That's fine.
Wilkins, Mrblacc, Chanel from the HR best squad. Every single view, no one can take guard. Vision of the truth, unstoppable in your face. All I say, we speak the truth in every single debate.
It's weird. Every mix ever makes it. Jobber Nation, welcome to another episode of the Jobbertears podcast. As always, I'm Janelle from HR. Here with Sir Wilkins and Mr. We are back. We came back from our long-awaited trip to North Carolina, where we met up with Jobbertears South, so shout outs to them, and also met a lot of interesting other wrestlers and legends and all that jazz. So real quick, what was one of your favorite moments from the trip this past weekend?
It was just seeing everybody and singing 50 Cents. That's what.
Not even meeting D-Lo?
Well, we've met D-Lo before. So, but the thing was, you know what it was about WrestleCade? It's super intimate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been to the big event like once, and the big event is like, nigga, move.
Take a picture.
Move. Next. But I think it's also because it's down south. There's a different feel.
Everybody's a little different. What about you? Favorite moment of this weekend?
It was cool. The whole event was cool. It was good to be around everybody. Good energy.
But like what? What did we do? What did we see?
The whole event was cool. That's it. There's nothing in particular I liked. The whole experience. Good experience.
Well, my favorite, low key, I actually had a good conversation, even though she was kind of in passing, was talking to Gail Kim and asking her for some advice on like the promoter and booking side of things. I kind of went there with the mentality of like asking like, all right, I want some like ear to ear advice. Jeff Jarrett gave me some dope ass advice too.
What'd they say?
So Jeff, when I asked him, he said budget. And I said, really? I said, Jeff, are we one of the same? He said, you don't have to, you can go over, you can go under, but always set a number so you know what you're working with and you know what you're doing.
20K.
And then 15. And then Gail had said, which is something I'm going to look into. She said, in this business, everybody goes through the trials and tribulations, but, finding someone like a mentor, someone that's been in the business and kind of can guide you and help you. I was like, oh, so I said, okay.
Gail Kim is so fine.
I said,
Yo, I didn't mean to cut you off. I know you're trying to get a deep moment, but I got to get this off my chest. I didn't even talk to her, but Gail Kim is probably one of the finest women I've ever met in person. Gail Kim is dumb fine. Like, wow. Ladies and gentlemen. She tried to be deep. Gail Kim really gave her gave her advice.
Because what was happening was all the TNA girls were gonna take a picture.
Yeah.
And they they were calling her over, and first of all, she already has shoes off because she was like,
she got nice feet.
She was like, I'm over this shit.
Any feet lovers out there, she got beautiful feet.
And shout outs to my sis Danny from Pretty Hills. She was just like, Gail, real quick, and she said my friend has a really really good question to ask you. So she helped with the alley hoop on that one. But no, she took the time and she said, listen, I've been in the business 21 years. I'm just starting to get certain things together and just being in that space. And I was just like, okay, sis. And then, of course, Uncle Too Cold was super dope.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. So I spoke to Too Cold Scorpio off the record, and then I asked him one question. I asked him about The Undertaker. So in the IBWC, the Internet Black Wrestling Community, he's been a little iffy. Because, that Blue Lives Matter shirt he be wearing all the time. Know what I mean? So I asked a brother who be, a brother. And then for our melanated people that listen, he a nigga. Too Cold Scorpio a nigga.
Yeah, nah, if you ever see Uncle Too Cold, he outside, he chilling. He, hanging with people, talking to people, letting them know.
Yeah.
Just the day-to-day shit.
Shit, he mad cool. He the uncle at the barbecue. That's who Too Cold Scorpio is. So, I pulled up on him, very nice. He was chopping up. He's talking about stuff. I had to give him love because, we saw Dark Side of the Ring when he put the beats on who. We know who I'm talking about. And then he put the beats on him, whatever. We were chopping up. I said, yo, that's some real shit. He's like, yo, I'm a real nigga. And then I had to ask him, I was like, yo, real talk. How is The Undertaker? Like, honestly speaking, he's like, yo, that's the coolest motherfucker I know. He looked out for me while I was in the business, gave me some weed sometimes. He would tell me when they were having a drug test and everything. He was the coolest person in the business. Like, he really was the leader of the locker room type of shit. He tell a story like, yo, how Undertaker pulled up with a limo to take him to the fucking strip club when they were in town at some town and shit. And then supposedly Earl Hebner and his brother are snitches. Like, they get mad cool with you so they can get all the deets and then go back to the bosses and tell on you.
Damn.
Can't fuck with the
why
Hebners.
you ain't say that while we was there? Because Earl was out here running these streets.
Earl's definitely out here running these streets. But so for the IBWC, the Internet Black Wrestling Community, Too Cold Scorpio gave Undertaker the stamp of approval. But Gail Kim, fine. Fucking fine. Like, deliciously fine in the most respectful way ever.
You know who, like, I'm so mad, like, we, like, caught them, like, so short, was Tom Pritchard, though. How dope was that?
Yeah, Tom Pritchard's coming out here giving us
Giving gems.
You know, the man that trained our cousin, The Rock.
No, he's not your cousin.
Listen, if Royal Fatu can be out here talking about he did it for Rikishi,
that shit was wild.
he'd be out here doing it for Rikishi and shit. You got to meet Vicky Guerrero. How was that? How did you experience that?
What?
You got to meet Vicky Guerrero. How was your experience with that?
We all did, though.
No, but I'm saying
But you had your own moment.
You couldn't even speak, my nigga.
I mean, it was
Now you trying to be cool right now? Now you trying to be So, ladies and gentlemen, let's reenact what happened. Oh, my God.
there, though.
No, because he was like, this is Vicky. He was like, oh, I love you, Mom.
Actually, take it back to when we got to the convention center and Sting was walking out. First of all, Sting was walking out like he had, like, you know how Goldberg comes out with the fucking security? That's how Sting came out of the convention center.
Yeah, he really came out with 100.
Well, like,
security.
it was like a good 8 niggas with him, so it was hilarious. So we walk across the street, and then this one just fucking marks out. And I was just like, oh, this is what you're here for. Enjoy
But
it.
you have to understand, Sting took out the whole NWO with a bat, man. Like he has the greatest storyline ever. Like a whole year, he didn't have to wrestle. And that was come on, man.
That's why he's overrated. That's why I need to stop praising this man. Overrated. Also, you know what's funny? So you yelling out at Sting, I didn't know you did that until an old man walked in, was like, yo, somebody just yelled out, oh my God, it's Sting! Oh my fucking God, it's Sting! And he was like, that guy was really happy to see Sting. And I was like, it's probably my brother. I told that to Dre. I was like, that was probably my brother. He was like, it probably was.
You know, it was. Hands down. And Mickey James and Nick Aldis was dope.
Let's talk about the couple of the year, B.
Yeah.
Couple of the
Goals.
First of all, they had their kid with them.
Yeah, he's so
They had their kid with them. And Nick Aldis is dropping bars out here. Funny thing he said, you know, black people run the world, low key. Because let's put it out there. Yeah. So Nick Aldis had a fly ass coat on.
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger. Deliciously fly. Like chef kiss. And you know, when I see something fly, you gotta respect it. And we all showed them love. Janelle said it was nice. My brother said it was nice. And he was like, I know when I'm fly when the black people say I'm fly.
And it wasn't like in a racist way that.
No, because I think if anyone else would have said, we would have been like, who the fuck is you?
No,
because it was like my brother said, it wasn't racist. It was legit a genuine thing. Like he's like, yo, this is my thing. Quick story, and then we'll move on. When immigrants say things like that, it's like somebody who's not from America. It never feels a thing with malice.
I never feel that way.
I don't know if you like, you know what I mean? Because they don't understand our culture.
They don't. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Now, give me an example.
So for instance, my client, he's Italian, right? I think I told you guys the story before. So he's Italian, like fresh off the boat, Italy. Like he talks with his hands, like he's very like over the top. Like he doesn't
like
want
black people.
Yeah, he's over the top. He doesn't want to work out. So we just argue about religion. He's an atheist.
Okay.
So then one day we finished the session.
Wow, it's from Italy and an atheist.
Super atheist. Like he doesn't believe in anything. He doesn't believe in no God.
Okay.
You see
all
the
science
is to the world.
It's all science. Everything is science. So long story short, We finished our session. I was like, all right, cool. I'll see you next week. He goes, can I ask you a question? I say, what up? He's like, if I call you bro, is that racist? First of all, I started busting out laughing. Because I didn't expect this to come out of his fucking mouth. And then I was like, nah, it's okay. He's like, you sure? I see a lot of black people say bro. I was like, in back of my head, I was like, not really, but okay.
Everyone says bro. now.
Everybody says, it's like, it's totally fine. You can call me bro. And ever since then, he'd be like, yo, bro, I'll see you later, bro.
The thing
Arnold
about it is
Schwarzenegger.
this way. The thing about it is it all goes back to shout out to Alvin and Preach for saying this though. Like, we're not struggling with nothing. We're not living on hard times. So the things that we have to worry about is these like racial issues. And honestly, that's the best way for you to approach somebody. It's asking them, is this okay? Like, for example, if I talk to a dude who's of brown complexion that's, you know, happen to be from either from the Middle East, Pakistan or whatever, those type of people, if I ask them, yo, what's the proper way for me to address you, is they will tell me.
Yeah, but that's you see, that's you're not being ignorant.
But you're not. But you're being
You're inquisitive. You're trying to
you're being
learn.
inquisitive,
You're
but
trying
the
to
thing
learn and
about
be
it is-
respectful.
right, but the thing about it is everybody just take it so offensive. Oh, why we asking that? I'm looking like, bro, he's from that part. Why am I asking that? It's just like somebody asked me about Haitian culture. Yo, do you guys do voodoo? I laugh and say, yeah, we do. Not all of us though, but that is part of our culture.
Funny thing, the whole Caribbean does.
Yeah,
We
I was
definitely
gonna say,
does though.
Everybody
we
does.
definitely does though.
The
You
whole
know,
Caribbean.
shout out to
Cubans?
we all
Relax
do it.
yourself.
Americans do it.
Cubans don't. Nigga, what? Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen who's all listening to, have you seen Mexicans? Their culture?
Yeah.
Whole spiritual culture?
Yeah.
And voodoo is basically pagan beliefs. It's a
Shout out to
spirit.
Super Nitro.
It's a super culture. It's about pagan beliefs, which is what Christianity is based on, low key. But that's a different conversation. So we'll move forward back to Nick Aldis and Mickey. Also, Mickey James looks great in person.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
she's
I was
not
like,
fat.
yo, TV don't do her justice.
Well, TV adds 10 pounds.
Not even just the pound thing. It's just
It's her view,
just her aura, and just her herself. I'm like, yo, she's really dope. Like I could sit, have a few beers with her, and be like, girl, tell me more. Type
You
of
know
thing.
who's also beautiful in person? Dana Brooke. I know people make fun of her because of the plastic surgery, or whatever. Looks great
No,
in
I was
person.
gonna say she
never
looks
thought
way
that.
better
Huh?
now.
Never
She looks
thought
great in person.
I felt-
Also, Sonya Deville, respectfully, I'm gonna say this. That's a bad bitch, bro. Like, I don't mean. I know we don't like using the B word, but I have to say this.
She's a bad bitch.
Like, she is definitely a bad
pretty.
bitch. Like, nah, like, niggas is polished, my nigga.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, there's a level of like, I understand when people talk about WWE being like corporate America.
You know what Wrestle K taught me? Vince know how to hide flaws. Nobody giving credit for that. Because Braun Strowman is not that tall.
Yeah, and that's enough. No, but
Like,
that's
Luke Harper is not that tall.
but that's the point, is the fact that when you go to the E,
they polish you up.
they make you look like a
certain way.
$1,000,000 bucks.
The fact that Braun Strowman looked like he was 7 feet tall, but when I saw him, he's like probably 6'3", 6'5".
yeah,
At best.
he's
He's not that. Yeah, I
He's not
thought
that
he was.
big. And after that, you come to the conclusion looking like WWE know how to hide your flaws. And this is why that I kind of understand Vince, why he gets on certain people. It's just, bro, I pay you guys all this money. All you have to do is really work out. I'm asking guys for much. Just look good for television.
and that's the point. So I met Austin Theory was another example.
Right.
He looks the same, but he doesn't look the same. If that makes sense what I'm saying. There's a type of polish, like it's some Disney effect.
Right.
Like it really is a big corporation. And it goes back to what you're saying of like, they make you better.
Yeah.
But speaking of making you better,
Making who better?
Big Swole has left AEW.
Yes.
You
So
surprised?
Big Sis. No.
I want to get surprised.
Big
like,
Sis.
it's a big thing.
Big Swole posted the other day, letting the fans and everyone know that she will not be re-signing to AEW once her contract is up. Mutually, they decided that. which is another give and take. But what are your thoughts on it? I mean, the writing was in the wall though.
Do you want to take this?
I'm not gonna hold.
I mean,
you. I've known for like 2 months.
There's
so.
not even much to say,
Like,
and
no.
it's not even about a racial issue. She was not being used. Like whatever happens, whatever diseases, just like it always says in sports, you know, yo, if you're not available, like I can't use you. You understand? But when she was there, they was using her. But the thing about it, they wasn't advertising what she's doing. So it's basically the company fault and her fault. Now, it's not even her fault. It's just like, yo, she's doing the best you can. But you still could use her in some kind of capacity. She don't always have to be in a big program, but she could be that nice guard. It's just like, yo, you have to get through me, have a series of matches to get to the top. You understand? And that should have been her role. Because if you can't be available all the time, all right, can get us at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, gets this person over. Cool. Let's have a promo. They should let her do other stuff. Hey, go to that girl's house and beat up. How they let her flesh a character out during the whole Big Swole, her and Big Swole versus Brent Baker, which, by the way, like, made no damn sense, though, because it feels like how that Brent Baker built her career just losses. Huh. She lost to Big Swole. She lost to Thunder Rosa. And, like...
Can you elaborate on that?
Son, she's Rocky.
Her win-loss record is not that
It's
great.
terrible.
So Thunder,
terrible.
it's funny. I feel like I read something earlier.
But-
Thunder
so,
Rosa,
you're 100% right.
had
Very
two,
smart.
Was it 2
posted
years?
it.
Shout out to him real quick. Yo, he be
Shout-
posting shit, and I be like, yo,
Shout out to my man
Okay.
Varian Smarks, because he's the one who posted it,
I saw it,
and then she deleted it.
Posted what?
Oh, okay. So what she posted was somebody had posted like the power rankings, which I mean, essentially, if done correctly, it makes sense. But the way it seems like AEW does it, it doesn't make sense because she has like 30 wins and like 2 losses, but her power ranking is like 5. And she's just like, how does this like make it make sense almost? Like,
So she's at
Because-
hold on, wait, hold on. Let me see what her percentage would be.
Because
keep going, guys.
Because it does make sense though. Because it's all about she's not consistently wrestling. So
no, if she has 30 wins,
it's just like
how is your power rank higher? Like someone above her has like 12 or something.
So as of right now, this is wild. She is ranked number 4. She has 30 wins and 3 losses. Britt Baker's number 1 with 19-2 because she is the champion. So technically, let's move away from Britt Baker. Rio is 12-2.
Rio that just came back on age. I'm fucking sleep. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Rio.
I'm not.
No, I
thought maybe I was making a mistake, but but
Oh, but you know what? They had probably. Go ahead. No, actually finish.
So
I don't know why they would do that.
the rankings. This what this ranking doesn't make sense because Jade is 18-0 and she's under Rio. So that doesn't make sense.
I think the power rankings like this way, right? And this is where y'all go think too deep. The thing is that it just demonstrated that we these are the people we're going to use. That's what the power ranking that I came up close to is like. If you're in the top 5, we're going to use you the most. Or the top 10, however you want to length of it, we are the people who are the head of the division. And we're going to shift the power to someone else. Because you realize that when we make someone hot, they're getting at the top 5 rankings. So they're not using it how y'all want them to use it. They're using it another different way.
No.
Because this is how I see it. When I see a top ranking, these are the women who consistently on television. These are the people consistently on that they're using. There's like power ranking with the tag team, power ranking with the singles division, whatever. This is how I see it. There's nothing deep beyond that. Because if you look at it, these are the people who've been on screen.
No, actually, Rio has not been on TV in weeks.
Rio
Up until what, a week ago when she had faced that what's Britt's girl? Jamie Hayter.
But it makes sense though.
She
because,
faced her
because she was out for a while.
But that's
and they had to heat her up though.
But the saying is going to your point of who they're using. They have not used her. They only brought her back literally last week. And then with Jade and Thunder Rosa, and who's the other person?
No. Now you see, like you can't be saying bad information. She did not distribute last week. She's been there for like a good a month and a half.
No, she
And
has not been on Dynamite in a very long time.
That's not. You see. This is what I said. They heated her up on Elevate and Dark and this is what the presenter on Dynamite. This is what they doing. This is why my theory is the top 5, top 10, they heat them up. So then they could bring on Dynamite. That's the point. To get in those top rankings to be on Dynamite. That's how I see it.
So it's a great point. But then I push back at this because top 5 right now, as of December 1st, Chris Statlander. Why isn't Ruby Soho in the top 5? Because she's used consistently.
I said either the top 5, between the top 5 or the top 10.
But the thing about it, if you
Wait, who's in the 5?
It's Rio, Jade, Thunder Rosa, Nyla Rose, and Kristen Statlander.
So
Chris Statlander.
4 out of the 5 are in the tournament for the TBS title.
Who's not in the tournament in that list?
Rio.
Is Thunder Rosa still in the tournament? Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She
And
is.
Rio had a match with Brent Baker, say that she's gonna beat her, and she did.
Yeah, no, so
and
she faces her. Yeah, no, that's fine.
So my theory is right.
The ranking is off.
Yeah.
Because my only thing is
Where is Ruby Soho?
she's not on the top 5.
But she's probably in the top 10. She probably
But
somewhere in there.
the rankings is only the top 5. It's only the top 5 of who the champions are. So they don't do the full rankings. Unless there's something that I didn't see, but they don't do the full rankings. Oh, FTR is nicest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
You kept saying that.
FTR is so nice.
You kept saying that, which is good to know.
Yeah, it's only sort of the top 5 for the rankings, which is fine. It is what it is, but it's like the NFL's playoff season.
All right, listen what Iz says.
Yeah, that's
It
weird.
says this. Is reason why Rio's number 1 because she never been eliminated from the Battle Royale All Out.
No, I
She
get
won
that
the match
point.
with Brent Baker on Rain, like I said, to earn a shot at a title. Like I said, that's a kind of a cheat code right there that they did to heat her up. So like I said before, is not traditionally how y'all want it.
It's not
but
about how we want it. It's just like when you just in any ranking, there's a first, second, third, fourth. So the way that the wins and losses, they're not positioned in that. That's all that's all my observation.
The thing about
was.
it, it's
If there are different ways that they do it, that's fine.
it must be type of matches
But
because
to
if
the
you're
eye,
yeah,
that's wild.
Because if you're mentioning, because they never said it was a battle royal. Because actually speaking, to be honest, they never mentioned the criteria for the thing. Because the only way I give Rio that top spot because she pinned Britt Baker. But after that, why isn't Thunder Rosa higher? Why is it because she has more wins? That's the only thing. So that's the only thing. And then technically speaking, Jade should be higher because she has 0 losses.
But who had Jade beat to make her rank higher?
But the thing about it, then you're talking about
she's undefeated though.
yeah, but exactly. So you're talking about type of matches, strength of the opponents,
All right.
type of thing. That's what.
overthinking this.
No, but
No, it's not an overthink.
That's not overthinking. Like
No,
I
it's
try
not
to
an
simplify
overthink.
this the best way I can simplify.
But you're
it.
No. You have your own way of looking at it, which is fine. Which I think for the most part, anybody that looks at a ranking, you kind of get your own like, all right, this is how this makes sense. You're making it make sense for you, which is completely fine. I'm just saying for someone that is undefeated and is not either a number 1 contender or up there in that type of program or that type of spotlight. That's where it gets, for someone to have 30 wins and not be recognized.
I think it is, and this is my opinion. I think it's like college football. You know college football playoffs? I don't know if you're familiar with
I hate
it.
college football.
Because
I'm
it's too
not
many
gonna hold you.
teams. But college
Hate
football, the playoff committee comes up with the rankings like this: strength of schedule, and how many wins and losses you have.
Yeah.
So, Thunder Rosa is on dark consistently. So the strength of the opponents aren't that high. She's dealing with a lot of indie people from the independent scene, so she could put a spotlight on them.
Right.
So that's the rankings. Now I'm gonna shift over to Swole because I want to talk about Swole real quick, and we'll move forward on it. Is the situation with Swole bothers me for one reason only. She did everything to make herself hot.
And that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Because, and it's something that big companies always do. Because if they fuck with you, they fuck with you.
Yeah.
Number 2, from what I hear, she's supposed to be their first champion.
Right.
I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not behind the scenes. But what the rumor was, she was supposed to be AEW's first women's champion.
Okay.
They gave it to Nyla Rose, and they dropped the ball on Nyla Rose. And people will say that, oh, COVID happened, blah 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 blah. But they got the heat because she was a transgender.
Yeah.
That's what really happened.
Yeah.
Number 2, when it comes to the thing that bothers me is that, and you mentioned this, and you said something about this, when she was healthy. Because we can talk about the elephant in the room, her Crohn's disease. Yes, it's an issue, next man up type of situation. But when there was a long period of time, she was fully healthy.
And that's why I said to get behind her. Yeah.
They didn't get behind her. But the number one thing that bothers me is that her match was trending.
Yeah.
She had a match trending on Dark.
Right.
Or Elevation, whichever one it was.
Right.
It was trending. When do you ever hear about a match besides the big guys who came from WWE match trending on Elevation or Dark? None.
And this goes back to what I said.
Yeah,
earlier.
and then it goes back to what you're saying. But it's like every big company. And the thing that bothers me is AEW and WWE are the same thing.
Right.
It's owned by a rich billionaire. Mm-hmm. He's doing what the fuck he feels is best for him. Mm-hmm. Does one company have a better strategy in certain types of avenues? Yes.
Yeah, it's like Coke and Pepsi.
So you said it the best. It's Coke and Pepsi. Right. At the end of the day, it's still a black ass soda.
Yeah. That's
just a different flavor that you like.
Yeah, but like I said before,
she wasn't used.
She
wasn't used. And the thing, what's crazy, she got better from when she started to the time she walked out the door in the ring.
I mean, like, once again, y'all.
It was borderline night and day.
I mean,
how nice she got in the ring.
Like, we saw that Jobber Slam.
We saw it at Jobber Slam. We saw it at the Battle Cup's other shows.
Right.
We saw her on the match that she had with Diamante on AEW Dynamite or Dark.
I mean, it's a proven fact that they don't use this certain people. Like I said, Kiera Hogan-Stein, she did a couple of matches, and Jade basically demolished her, and that's it. Like, come on. Like, you was killing it with Impact. I don't know what the situation may be, but listen, like I said before, they didn't use her. It seems like how that the biggest person who got the most out of it is Brent Baker. Like, how you lost to all these people, but yet they made you the biggest star. Like, honestly, though, son, like, Thunder Rosa should have got more of a spot. She does, though, but I feel like...
No, she doesn't. Mr. Black, don't bullshit that. Because I don't mean to cut you off, but you know she deserves a bigger spot than what she could, because she's doing pop-ups.
Yeah.
She just got signed, but she's still doing pop-ups. And the thing about it, it's okay for Jade to win. Right. Jade is the future of the company. Right. We understand that. But before this was going on, son, you beat Britt Baker.
Right. And nobody seems to remember that.
Nobody seems to remember that. And because when Britt Baker was bleeding, they put her face on the shirt.
Put her shirt on the shirt. But the thing about it is, I'll be honest with you, not to crap on Britt Baker, but Britt Baker sounds like that. I'll be real with you. She probably won't get as far as she was in WWE. Matter of fact, I won't even give her that Impact. Like, she was forced to get better, and it will not put her at the main side they did, because they know that if you come in Impact, these women fight. Simple. Brent Baker is cute because niggas like her, because she's going with their audience.
Her charisma's high.
The thing about it is she fits their audience. Simple. Yes, I compare it to the rap game. Yo, she's that rapper where, like, you have to, like, if you know, you like her. Like, she's very...
She's not everybody's cup of tea.
Exactly. You know, speaking of rap game, you're like, yo, shout out to Westside Guns. Like, they never show that nigga love. Never show that nigga love. And it proves you that, yo, like, wrestling companies don't know hip-hop like they say they do. But I don't blame them, because let's be serious, is T-Pain compared to Westside Guns. Like, Westside Gun is that, people said that, see, it's like, I'm going to compare it this way. You know who Lee Moriarty is. If you know, you know. Some people don't know him or see him as a jobber. Some people who see Westside Gun say, like, who's this dude? If you see T-Pain, you know him, because T-Pain just is more of a crossover hit compared to Westside Guns. No offense to him, though, but it's true, though. But it all goes back to what we said before, like, niggas don't know hip-hop culture. Niggas don't know our culture like that. Because if you know this culture, you be like, let me get this man on screen.
But it comes down to this, because Biggie said it once. He said it a while ago. He was like, how that wrestling is always behind culturally.
Exactly.
In general. and that's just what it is because it just and for people who are listening, and I don't know, do you know about the Westside Gunn situation?
So the only thing that I know, like my thing on it is, how I guess he, always is front row because I'm always like, oh, there you go, because you can't miss that nigga. So I'm like, oh, there you go. And then he tweeted something or so he posted something about like not getting love from like AEW, WWE, like such and such and such. But it's just like I don't know because it's like, do you want to just be the fan or do you want like the working relationship? Like what?
But the
the
thing is the things that he's done within the culture. So I get what you're saying. You're like, what's your end game?
Like, bro, you're paying a seat to be a fan. Like, I don't know. Like, just like the rest of us. So it's just like, I don't know. Like, I would love for Vince to be like, Jobbertears podcast is in the building. I would die.
Yeah, but the thing is,
like, if I'm there as a fan and I'm enjoying the show, I'm not looking for nothing.
But that's what it is. But it's also like what he's done for the culture.
Which is what?
What he's giving people front row seats to AEW shows, to WWE shows. He's paid off people's wrestling school debt. He's done that. He's tons of wrestlers know who he is. They fucks with him. They fucks with his music. He's done a song with MVP. He's done stuff within the culture, and he's consistently showed love to the culture. He's at independent shows. He's doing stuff of that nature. So it's like, yeah, you're not expecting anything, but let me get a shout out. Because I'm making money in the rap game. People within the rap community know me. Now, granted, not everybody knows who I am. That's one thing. But then you have a guy like T-Pain who doesn't like wrestling like that.
That's what I told Mikey. I said he's not no real
who's
fan.
not a real wrestling fan who's getting praised and love. And we understand because of what the legend of T-Pain in the music game.
Well, no, he was getting love because he's on this stupid ass shit with Cody.
Yeah.
That's
but
all
the thing
that
about
was
it,
about.
the thing about it though, it's like this. You have a fan base. You take care of your fan base.
Right.
He's part of that fan base. And what is not to say that, he can get more people on the fan base. All his music has rap references. Him and Smoke DZA always have rap references in their thing.
Okay.
So that's how I see it, is that you're not giving back to people who are legit part of the culture. You're somewhat shunning them and not showing that you're taking advantage of them. Now I get it what you're saying. Like, nigga, you bought a ticket. Relax. But at the same time, he's done more than just buy a ticket.
Honestly, he has. Cool. I definitely understand. I'll definitely give him that. But let's be honest. Like, at AEW, if I see this man with bling bling and a chain, if I think he's a rapper, I might be low-key racist. You understand? Like, he's always in the front row seat. I definitely give you that. But other than that, though, be honest. Have he taken the necessary steps to say, let me do a song for somebody?
But he's dead now with MVP.
No, an entrance song. Say
Listen, AEW paying $100 for theme songs.
Like-
I don't
like-
think.
like-
I don't
like-
think.
like-
he's, I don't think he's in there.
Why you blowing up AEW about that?
No, I'm just saying.
That's
That's what
AEW,
someone told me.
And another thing that AEW do not do though, shout out to the man who did our theme song. They should do, like, if it's not someone within in-house, do what WWE did. On the bottom screen, show the little album. Montezi, shout him out. You understand? Listen, a lot of niggas don't know in wrestling don't know how to advertise hip hop anyway. Now, a lot of niggas in wrestling always follow tradition. Shout out to Jeffrey. You know why I give Jeffrey that respect, son? Because Jeffrey did the extra. Shout out to Billy Dixon gave us an idea with the music at Jobber Slam. You know what he does? He bring the culture into wrestling. But let me finish. You know what Jeffrey did though, son? He wasn't traditional. Oh, this or that. He engaged with the audience. So you right. Niggas does not give him love. Let me ask you a question though. You have to be a hardcore fan, hardcore hip hop to know who he is. Because if I ask a casual black dude who watch wrestling, college, hip hop, do you know who Westside Guns? Nah. Do you know who Smoke This is? No.
But then the thing is though, but that's your job as a company. To have
Who's that man with the chain?
Who's the finger on the pulse? Who's that man with the chain? He's at every show that we have. Why is he at every show? Because, to be honest, they talk about certain other people being at every show. The CM Punk fan that's at every show. And they capture him. They talk about him. You're a millennial. That's who Tony Khan is.
Right.
So you know what? You got to be up on things. If you're trying to make your company go to that next level, you have to be up on certain things.
So let me ask you a question though. We all basically let's put our business in there, right? We're basically the podcast that basically is the backbone of this network, correct?
Yes.
Do you basically like everybody goes to you, correct?
If it goes to us, yeah.
Do you know what everything that we touching?
Yes.
Everything.
Yes. Because I have a conversation with everything. Because at the end of the day, if you're part of something and the fans that come to you, that's outreach.
So let me ask you a question. Do you know what kind of fans that I bring in?
Yes.
Do you know what kind of fans Janelle brings in?
Yes. Because we're all looking at numbers. We're all looking at the video and stuff of that nature. At the end of the day, he just wants some love. Because at the end of the day, he's spending so much money, an absorbent amount of money.
So I ain't waiting for the fucking white man to show him love. Let's show him love right now.
Yeah, I get that. We're showing him love, but at the same time, is that he's not really complaining. It's like it is what it is.
Someone else pointed it out.
But it is what it is. But it's one of those situations like when you feel you're not getting love for a situation, you know what? You're gonna say something. You'll leave it alone.
Yeah, right.
But when you're part of it, when you're giving to the culture so much and you get nothing in return, you're gonna say something. And you have somebody like you said, T-Pain, who's not really a wrestling fan, but like, oh, I'm a rock fan, I'm a Stone Cold fan.
Right.
But couldn't name.
That nigga's an Attitude Era fan.
Yeah, but couldn't name Orange Cassidy. Couldn't tell you about Roman Reigns or somebody else. That's what I'm getting at.
I feel like how that you said something that makes sense though. Like you're right. Outreach. If you see this man at every show with mad chains, he's either like most likely like he's not a scammer because he won't be front row like that unless he's a stupid scammer. But he has to be something that of coming from money. But let me ask you a question: have Westside? You know what? I'm not even gonna ask him about it because I don't know. You're right.
But I mean, Westside, if you ever want to come on, you're welcome to. Let's talk about something I had to put in the chat because I didn't want to forget about it. MLW just announced that they are having an open door policy where any and everybody can come through the MLW doors, which goes to, I guess, this whole forbidden door, imaginary la la land that, wrestling likes to make up, which it really isn't. But my question was to you guys was, are we at a point where we just care about dream matches, or where's the essence of actually having an actual like program or long-term booking in a sense? So where are we right now? Are we just here for the dream matches, or because someone had said something about Lee Moriarty and we'll talk about this week in wrestling, because someone mentioned Lee Moriarty and CM Punk, and I was just like, let me be very clear. What would do more for him? Just the one match, or actually having a feud and a program with CM Punk to build something upon something? And I was just like, I would take the program over just the match, because the match is here. It comes and goes. But you having a program with someone of that stature, you're now building on your legacy and something you can look back and be like, I did this. You know what I mean? Like, so are we in that phase of, are we just here for the dream matches, or are we here for the long-term booking?
It's been like this forever.
I wouldn't say forever,
There've been
though.
a ton of throwaway matches just like you didn't realize that because
No.
the term forbidden door wasn't really invented.
But I mean, like right now, like currently, I feel like, especially with AEW, especially with you spoke about New Japan and was it Noah working together. So like right now, we're in a prime time of where all people are really talking about are dream matches versus it just being an actual storyline that's happening within two people. So that's why my question is, are we more focused on dream matches now, or are we focused on actually building a program with someone?
I'm going to say it two different ways. It depends what kind of fan you are. Because right now the trend is to have a bunch of dream matches. That's a hot thing to do. There's always hot trends in anything. Any wrestling back in the day, it was hot to do a whole bunch of super kicks. Back in the day, it was hot to dress like your favorite wrestler and imitate them. It was hot. There's certain stuff that's just hot. It comes and goes. So right now it's hot to do that. But the same exact time, though, there's still art of storytelling. But even within the art of storytelling, a lot of us complain, it's too long, it should have ended, blah, 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 this, that, and third. We come from an ADD era where niggas cannot even pay attention to the whole Adam Page and Kenny Omega situation. Because if you pay attention, that story been told for 3 years. People still complain. You understand? So even the whole Roman, people complain when does this pay off? Blah, 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 blah. Randy Orton versus Ray Orton and Riddle. When is it going to pay off? When are you going to betray him? Da-da-da. Bro, dang. Get at least build up. So it's 2 different wrestling fans we're dealing with. The niggas who love this hot pocket, and the other niggas who still value, I like my storylines. So at the end of the day, it's just like it's all based on the fans. You understand? Give what the fans wanted. You understand? It all started at New Japan been doing the whole versus thing. They did them versus Ring of Honor a couple years ago. CCW versus Ring of Honor. This whole thing been happening for years. But now Tony Khan just made it hot. He took an old concept and just made it hot. ECW versus WWE, WWF back in the day, the Lions and stuff like that. It's always been happening. But now it's on a grander scale because there's a company who actually do it. Even WCW had that. WCW versus New Japan. You understand? This is not common. This is super common. But now it's hot because we have a second company who has this kind of money. They made up a phrase to fit the indoor. Now every other company want to do it. Like look at the sense with Zack Ryder going to GCW. Him stuff like that was big. They had instant rumbling, everybody had their opinions and stuff like that. It's all about the moment. It's all about the hits. Everybody want that 1 million, everybody want to go viral. So now the whole viral sensation came back to wrestling.
Your thoughts?
It's trash. It's trash
Talk
because
about it.
so we have to understand is you're 100% right. Lee does the match with CM Punk. We talk about it for a day. Nobody ever talks about it again.
Mm-hmm.
Ever again.
Actually, it was a really good match.
It was a very good
Side
match.
note.
It was a very good match.
We'll talk about it.
But when are you going to talk about it? When are you ever going to talk about it again?
Yeah.
Have you spoken about CM Punk and Darby?
So I'm not going to hold you, though. I'm, really excited about Daniel Bryan versus John Silver next week. I was like, because he's my favorite Dark Order member. I'm like, that's really dope.
Bryan is having a storyline right now, going through all the Dark Order.
But it's a storyline.
That's fine.
It's a storyline because you're involving the Dark Order.
Even I
You're
don't.
doing it with the things
Still
with
mix
the
of
Dark.
both, though.
But it's not because
It's not the one-off. It's a part. The Dark Order in that situation are supporting details.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Yeah, they're part of the bigger picture.
They are the side dishes to the meat and potatoes.
So they're
which
part
is
of the-
fine. But if it was if it's just Daniel Bryan and just a random person or Orange Cassidy,
Yeah.
they did Daniel Bryan for Orange Cassidy, you'd be like, what?
So like for instance, MJF when he had different people fight Jericho.
Yeah.
You remember that because it was a storyline.
Right.
It was part of a bigger picture. It's not a one-off match because, to be honest, after that match between CM Punk and Lee was done, it went to CM Punk and MJF.
And you forgot about Lee Moriarty.
You instantly forgot about Lee.
But then again, it's just like I'm going back to sometimes it don't have to be a storyline. Like for example, back in the day, a lot of people don't know this. Shawn Michaels and Kevin Nash team up for one night on Raw to bring back the tag team, which was just a one-off.
But they already had history.
But
so.
yes, but it's still like a one-off. Like it happens. You understand? All right, cool, whatever. Or when Finn Balor versus AJ Styles, a one-off. That's it. Or AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar, a one-off.
Well, that was different because that was Survivor Series.
All I'm saying is this way: not every time you use storylines, because at the end of the let's be real.
But the one-off should make sense though.
Let me ask you a question: is Lee Moriarty he's good, but he's only again, you have to know. If you know, you know.
But let me add, but everything you just mentioned was from a storyline. You talked about AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar. That is a storyline between Raw versus SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's a storyline. We talk about Kevin Nash and Shawn Michaels teaming up at Raw.
A random ass Raw.
At random ass Raw. But the reason why it holds relevance is because they were a phenomenal tag team at
Right.
one time together. So it's all built up from different storylines. Leak fighting CM Punk is okay, this is cool. We forget about it. Bobby Fish versus Bryan Danielson. It was a cool match, but we forgot about it. We remember moments, and you said that. Moments is what we think about.
Right.
Why do we care about Mick Foley versus Triple H in a Hell in a Cell.
Right.
The match was great, but it was a lead up to something. It was from a lead up. It was done. It was done. Like, to go back to the question of the original question is about these dream matches. Of course people want to care about it because it's what my brother said. It's what's hot right now. But the problem is it's what hot is not what's good for you. That's the issue because everybody's trying to make quick cash. Is trying to get a pop and try to have these matches. That's great for the independent scene. But if you have a TV show, why am I watching it?
Right.
Because then I'm going to pick and choose which match when I want to watch.
But it's filler. At the end of the day, it's rating.
It's the filler. But
do certain people deserve fillers?
But the thing about it, then people got to understand that this match is cute, but it's not going to help the person's legacy. I don't like this bullshit about, oh, he's helping put over the young talent. No, he's not, because he's not in a program with them. He's doing a one match with them. Maybe 3 people might be like, yo, this is dope, and then that's it.
But it's kind of like in boxing. In boxing, you're gonna fight the lower ranked people, the younger people, to get your groove back.
And what does that do for the younger people?
Nothing.
Listen,
Nothing.
In boxing, he's like, yo, he put in the ring with the champ. Like,
put in
at
the ring
end
with
of the day, though, like, you
failed.
get these like these filler matches in boxing, and like, matter of fact, I'm even taking a step further. Even in college, they play these filler. They do certain stuff to fill up their schedule. They may play a jail team. They may play like a scheme that's kind of lower, a team that's not in their ranking or in their division. Maybe a school that's coming up. Let's give them that game.
But nobody cares.
Listen,
Because nobody talks about it. But when you have Duke versus fucking a mega team, you go, oh shit. And what do they do before every time they have those big matches? They put a vignette on. Because they add storylines.
Is Lee Moriarty on that level?
Why not build him to that?
And if he's not, then why put him in that position to begin with?
I know you're testing him out. Fine.
Which is fine.
Fine. But to answer the question, dream matches is an easy pop. That's what it is.
Okay.
That's what it is for me. Dream matches are an easy pop because I fall for it. I fall for it. But when you have a dream match and there's something behind it, you go, holy shit, like that was it Great Balls of Fire when everybody got sick and injured?
I love that pay-per-view.
Considered one of the best pay-per-views ever.
hell
But,
yeah.
Low-key.
but it was
Hell yeah.
everybody,
One
it
of
was
the
the
great
lead up
pay-per-views.
to that. What they did, how they had their backs against the wall. There was a storyline behind it. That one SmackDown when NXT came, was one of the best SmackDowns ever. Dream
when they
matches were
invaded?
involved. But
Oh, didn't they do Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan?
yeah, they
That was
did
dope.
that, and there was storylines involved because it's what I always talk about. It's the anticipation for something.
Okay. I
When
see
you
what
get
mean.
hyped for something, you go, holy shit, this is about to happen.
See, so like, in all honesty, it's interesting because WWE's low-key has been doing it. They have a platform to do it, which is Survivor Series. And sometimes they utilize it, sometimes they don't. But I tell people all the time, one of the best Brock Lesnar matches was Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan, hands down. But it was one of those things like
Okay.
that. Though when you have those type of platforms, you're able to put on dream matches or matches that you would have never even thought of or seen. Which is why, like, to be honest, Big E versus Roman was a big deal because it was like, holy shit, they've never fought each other one-on-one. And like I said last week, when we talked about Survivor Series, even though Big E won, when I tell you the crowd was still behind him, even in that loss, that's how you know that this was, it added to both sides. It was all right, Roman is still whatever, but Big E still can hold his own. He's still the champion on Raw, blase. So
Because they did build up with Angel. I forgot his name. Angel, whatever. I think 10. No, that's not 10. They did build him up by having similar vignette. Cool. Again, honestly, wrestling need a better marketing. Wrestling needs a better way to present people. I said the best time that I felt that niggas really got over was the Ruthless Aggression era. One of the forgotten eras that nobody wanted to talk about because I felt everybody felt like a big deal. At any moment, my nigga Test come out, ooh, you feel me? They made him a big deal. You understand? Until Vince.
storylines.
Right. But I realized that AEW still trying to find what works for them. And in a company, and that's what I've been telling everybody, we never saw WWE from the beginning. So you never saw different mistakes. Some of us started watching from Hogan era until now. So certain stuff that they do, they don't do it no more. One of my favorite things they used to do was when it was a match card, they used to move and then freeze frame. They don't do that no more.
Yes, they do. They did for Survivor Series.
No, I'm talking about the car used to come up, and then JR used to talk about, oh, can't wait.
He's talking about, like, on a Raw,
and then like this,
SmackDown.
like, come on, SmackDown vs. Raw. Here comes me. You see my son nigga Brock like this, then freeze. That was popping. They don't do that match no more.
I swear they do, but okay.
They don't do it how they did it. I'm talking about the match car used to come up, and they'd be like, ooh.
I think they do it for certain pay-per-views.
Ooh.
But
They did for Survivor Series.
But he's talking about like
Every
on a
night
regular
to
ass
do that.
Raw.
They should do that. Or now you notice that the ramp is not a ramp, and the ramp is not that long. It's literally you come in there, take a couple steps, it's right there. Little changes like that. What I'm saying is this way. I agree with both of y'all. Definitely agree. But I also see it as these are all growing pains, and I guarantee by year 5 they won't be doing these type of storylines.
But then also it's what. How can and I understand why he does it
Of course,
because he's trying to make CM Punk strong.
right.
That's the whole point. That's what
Right.
I want everybody to understand. This isn't about the people that he's going up against. He's making CM Punk look strong. He's building up CM Punk for the match with MJF. That is it. It's not for Lee.
Yeah.
It's not for Will Hobbs. It's not for anybody that he's going up against. It's to make him look strong. By the way,
but everybody's a sacrifice.
yeah, but by the way, Bryan Danielson is probably like the greatest wrestler of all time right now.
Daniel Bryan.
This is why.
But then they're gonna.
Bryan is famous.
But we're talking about This Week in Wrestling now, because then you know they'll give the match on free TV, which I don't.
But they do that all the time.
understand.
They do that on WWE.
I don't get not like at this level.
No. Why wait until the very next pay-per-view?
They only have
Yeah.
4 pay-per-views a year.
No,
Yeah.
I get that, but it was just like
And it's a television special. Winter's coming. That's their special.
That's how they get their pop.
yeah, like
But
yeah.
think about, like, for instance, Biggie winning the title on Raw.
Yeah.
Bobby winning the title on Raw.
Yeah, Mankind winning title on Raw.
Yeah,
you know?
it's to get a pop. It's to get a pop. And
Ziggler catching in.
which and you know what I mean? It's one of those things to get a pop and for the ratings. Like, that match, for some people, probably was like, oh, it was a good match, whatever. Nah. If you're a wrestler, nigga, he did like textbook heel shit
Yeah.
in that match. Yeah. Like, footwork was done, storytelling was done, interaction with the crowd was perfect. Right. Like, his match was like one of the best matches I've seen a heel work in a very long time.
I want to see him go against 10.
So
The Muscle?
yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, so you say the difference between Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, right? Just for the audience, it's Daniel Bryan actually has a story behind it. He actually have a purpose like, yo, I'm fighting all your friends to say that I get to you as warm-up. Compared to CM Punk is, I'm fighting all these dudes I want to fight and like just make myself, just, you know, but you know what? I think that they not establishing what he's doing and having the fans just, you know, chime in, it's kind of confusing. Because if CM Punk definitely did say, yo, listen, but he did kind of say that, though. But then again, he did say that these are the people I want to fight, though. But then again, just put a storyline behind it, like have a little video, like, yo, listen, I don't know if I'm the best.
But
So
he's
I'm going to
not
see
putting
the...
nobody over.
It's not even that. It's like,
But it is that.
it's like
no
he's
bullshit.
just wrestling
We
to
all
wrestle.
know, but no bullshit though. We all know when it come down to it, he definitely when it was him and Will Hobbs, he should have gave Will that rub.
'Cause he's
Even-
black?
and even no, but just because Will is talented as fuck. But even
But-
with Lee Moriarty, no bullshit. It was just like,
But the audience, but then again...
or even Darby, to be
But then
honest
again,
with you.
this goes back to what Paul Heyman said. To their audience, they love it. To their audience, it built up their stock.
Go for
So
it.
people outside their audience don't understand it. For example, I'm going to go back to hip-hop. Today's might be a hip-hop episode, right? We are Kanye West fans, right? And we take the time out to watch extra interviews about him to understand his point. We go out to search for extra music. So we understand that. When it comes to AEW fans, it's just like they understand it, they get it, so I understand that why it's so appealing to them. Because if it wasn't appealing to them, they would have been stopped it.
and that's totally fine. I'm just saying, if you want to extend out of 800,000, 900,000, you want to do 1.5 million, 1.8 million, you're gonna have to do a better job at getting more fans in, because episodic television, episodic wrestling
It's king.
works.
Lucha Underground.
That's what it is.
Like if Lucha Underground had a bunch of AEW, it'd still be around.
Yeah, and I mean Raw. I enjoyed Raw.
I'm gonna say you
That's
went.
cool.
You were there live and in color.
The first 2 hours was the best hours. After that, it died for me.
What happened first 2
Well,
hours?
you fucking died at 10 o'clock
Okay,
at night.
let's talk about the Miz and Edge promo.
So
I popped.
it.
I'm not gonna hold you. I was like,
I
shit.
thoroughly liked it because I didn't expect Miz to come.
Right, like when
Okay.
Miz music hit, I was like, excuse. And then when Maurice came out, I was like, what
So-
are we doing here?
For me personally, I was like, I didn't expect you to come
Okay.
because nobody saw that coming. Their back and forth, jazz back and forth was good.
Yeah.
There was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, they mentioned about the contract shit, but regardless of them just mic skills going back and forth,
Okay.
I thought it was great. Liv has found her footing right now.
Right.
But you see what I mean about, and I don't mean to compare, but Liv prop 9 out of 10 is not gonna win.
Right.
But leading up to it, these 2-3 weeks, they're giving you a reason to watch next week. And that's what she has.
So he has a title match next week. But to be honest, if they would do it right, I would probably it wouldn't be clean, so
All right.
that they can extend it to them
Right.
actually going to day one
Day
to doing
one,
the
yeah, the
pay per view.
fight.
Which is why I'm like I kind of hope and pray that Daniel Bryan and Adam Page is that same scenario, because I'm like, you guys have only had this small of time to build it. Why now pull the plug on it to then now give Adam Page somebody totally different to then lead into what Revolution in February? It's like, damn, give it a little bit more time. But once again, I don't work for either one
Again,
of the
I don't know.
companies, so it
Again,
doesn't
it
really
didn't
matter.
happen. I don't know what's gonna happen.
It is what it is, but they have chemistry. Miz and Edge have chemistry. The best thing about Raw was the promos.
Right.
And also, Austin Theory's out of here.
Yeah, he is.
They put the strap
Right.
on him.
Let me tell you, this is the second week in a row he's been with Vince. When Vince smacked the fuck out of him, I was like, Vince loves him.
The
I
thing-
said, oh my God, Vince wants to put him on his back and carry the company.
Nigga,
I'm
he's
gonna
the
say
next
this.
Cena.
Right. I'm
Absolutely.
gonna say this.
Cena 2.0, and people didn't believe me.
I'm gonna say this. But the whole Miz program and the Edge it don't feel like a big deal to me.
Why?
Neither did Randall and Edge in the beginning.
No, because like they were still big stars. I'm gonna tell you why. The Miz is that nigga. The fans knows it, but WWE see him as a workhorse. They don't appreciate him. Let's really break down the Miz. This their man Miz was able to carry a feud with somebody who couldn't wrestle for years. So when it did happen, it was a big deal. This man Miz took these two guys, did a movie with them, made them feel like a big deal. Him little run with John Morrison, you felt like, oh, what are you gonna do? I can't wait to watch the brawl. Miz did what you have to do. Miz was one of the greatest transitional champion in recent history because when he lost, it was a big pop. You understand? The Miz does Dancing with the Stars. They barely promote it. The Miz has his own reality show. They promote it, but it don't feel like a big
No,
deal.
they didn't. I wouldn't say they barely promoted. They said it every week on Raw.
Compared to The
Don't
Rock, compared to Cena.
No, but
Compared to Undertaker.
But you're talking about like Dancing with the Stars. Like, no,
I'm talking
I
about
give them that. They
Right.
definitely pushed.
But the level
voting for
of
him.
like, let me get to it. I never felt that, and this is why that Mega Cena, the big dog, kind of with everyone else around the division, because I felt the Miz never got that real push. Never. This man doing so much things.
Really?
If you're not a wrestling fan, only reason, like, the Miz is the ultimate nigga. He's the ultimate video game character. Reality TV show, wrestling. Why he's not pushing more? Why is the Miz not in more of the covers? Why he's not doing that? He's doing everything you want the man to do. He's perfect with interviews. He's perfect with fans. Everybody loves him. And the heel, you want to punch him in his face. This is exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of these dudes who's supposed to be hot during the whole PG era, they're not. So him going against going against Edge, you know he's going to lose.
You don't know that though.
There is, because there's no excitement behind it.
But it literally just started 4 days ago.
But I'm saying that coming into it, the Miz, we know that he's a megastar. But how the company presented him, they only present the upper mid card, like somebody who's a stopgap between the mid card and the whole main event. Why is Miz like the Miz carried this company many times? When Brock was doing his thing though, when he was IC champion, son, come on, bring back prestige to that title. Him in the suit, rocking it. Ever since he lost that title, the IC championship has not been the same like that. Yes, they had few good moments, but when he was wearing it, every time you get the IC title, always hot. Now, WWE Championship, he made it have the couple quick. Well, how he did it? You was like, oh, I can't wait Bob to get his hand on him. This nigga, the Miz is that dude, son. But yet, WWE don't treat him like a megastar.
I don't agree with that though.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a real life question though, son. If you ask anybody who's not from the real, who never watched the real, a kid, the first person, who they gonna say first? Oh, Roman. What about the Miz? Oh, he alright.
But you
Seth,
saying you're just a kid though.
But still, these are kids who's watching it. But Seth, oh my nigga Seth, ha. Yes, he's not. Yes, Seth go in and out, but yet they still present him as a star, mega star though, son. The Miz, they don't. What? The Miz have reality TV shows, all of that. But yet, why not present him? Why my dick's not getting hard for him versus Edge?
Because it has you are the number one person to talk about. Let it play out. Let it cook. Let it
Coming
do this.
into there, he don't feel like a
But
big
it's not
star.
even. But it's not even about. I don't think a stardom type of thing.
Edge's star. Edge star is right here. The Miz star. How we know what he does should be right next to him.
But I don't think that it's
how to
not.
present him, he's right here.
I don't. Okay.
Come on, dogs.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think in the beginning when Miz had to essentially in a sense prove himself, he climbed tooth and nail to the position that he is in now. And I think once again it takes two to tango. So I think for him to be, I don't even think they've ever had an opportunity to work a program together, him and Edge. That could have been just something they wanted to do together. Just like how, everybody, Bucks and them is doing things for fun. That could be just something they want to do for fun together.
That's not the issue. But when you see the Miz next to Edge, take away us who knows what he brings to the table. If you watch a fan who just watched WWE, they're going to say, Miz is all right.
Or they may say, oh, Edge is old. Like, I don't know.
Stop moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm literally telling you how sometimes as a younger fan, you may look at someone like, oh, they're old. And they're washed up. And they're not going to give you the same 110% as someone new.
The only thing that WWE fans will see is how many championships you won. WWE Championship.
I don't know about that.
Miz won a bunch, though.
Key word. But he only won the big title twice. Edge won the big title a whole bunch of times. If somebody who just watched WWE don't go beyond that, they'll say Edge is a bigger star.
Which Edge is a bigger star.
But of course, then again though, they always go back to the Miz, how Bobby actually destroyed him. I'm looking at a standpoint, a fan who's just a fan, who's not a smart like us.
But the thing about it, even a fan would appreciate the bars that they put together for each of them, and they would enjoy the program. Because the start of the program, because it is enjoyable. Even though Miz is not a megastar as Edge is, because you also have to understand Edge has a longer career than Miz. Edge's been around the game. Edge was at the premier time in wrestling.
Of course.
So, of course, his stars are going to be brighter. Miz's star may not be megastar style, but he is a superstar there. And I think that's what you have to understand. In my opinion, he is a superstar.
Let's go back to
not a mega superstar.
But they don't present him like that.
But the thing about it, they do present him as a superstar. And the reason why I say that is because he's put into programs. And then he's given the mic numerous times.
But he loses.
Yeah.
But
the same thing. But hold on. Same thing with Britt Baker.
But Britt has a championship.
Yeah.
And
Miz has
main
multiple. So has Miz.
But I'm looking at a fan who just watched wrestling for what it is.
Miz has main event at WrestleMania. That's something that most people can't even say. Yeah, and CM Punk hasn't main evented at all.
But then again, people look at championships. Like,
yeah, and then
I get what you're saying.
He is a
He's
Grand Slam
decorated
winner.
though. Yeah,
He's
like
a Grand
I
Slam
don't know.
winner.
My thing with Miz though is that even probably I don't want to say casual, but you may have more of a casual fan recognize him more than Edge. Because of the different avenues he's been in, he's hosted challenges. He's been on the Real World. He's been on Dancing with the Stars now. Like my thing
WWE.
is, and my thing is
Yes.
that to say that the company, I feel like the company is in a position now to support him in any endeavors that he does.
Is Razor Ramon a superstar? Was Razor Ramon a superstar?
Yeah, because they presented him that way. Big life star. Like he did his thing.
He never won a WWE championship.
I know.
But I'm just saying.
Needed a Piper.
But Piper didn't want to play a game with Hogan.
Hogan didn't want it. We're not gonna get it.
But the thing about it,
Y'all not
Piper was
gonna
a
do me that
superstar.
today.
Piper is gonna go down as one of the living legends in the business. But the thing about it, and that's just what I'm trying to connect is with Miz as well. Miz is on that level of Piper Razor, where they don't need that mega title all the time, but because their mic skills are on godlike level, they can do these things. And yes, Edge is the bigger star, but watch what this program does. Because it's like Eddie versus CM Punk. CM Punk is the bigger star, but Eddie helped make that program.
But all I'm saying is I agree with you, but it should not be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. But
that's what I'm saying.
But the thing about it's never 100% even because then when you go back, I go back to sports. LeBron versus Steph Curry, the first time around, who was the bigger star? LeBron. Yeah. Steph Curry was still coming up, and then people saw him as but not a superstar. And one day they will. They don't love you now, but they'll love you when you're gone. No. That's where Miz is at. Miz is a superstar, not a megastar. That's
what he should be.
That's what he should.
That he does.
But then the thing about it, it's some people are not megastars. That's what it is. But that's what it is. But Homeboy has one of the longest careers in the.
To be honest, he's the definition of starting from the bottom.
But I'm never going to take that away from him, though. But it's just like I just feel like
they can put. I don't understand the way you're saying when it comes to presentation. I get that. But in my opinion, your opinion that he's not presented that way, I think they are because they put him in fucking everything. He represents the company.
They stick that nigga in everything.
He's on the level of a superstar.
When you see him, you know that's WWE.
Cool, but you don't have Roman losing all the time. You don't have Roman doing these granted.
He's a heel.
No. I'm talking about in general. You see The Miz doing more of these like sports entertainment programs because he understands his job. I'm not taking what The Miz does, but I feel like, The Miz, the stuff that he does, he should be a megastar.
But
in our eyes, we know that.
But the thing about it, even if he isn't that on that level, he's still people know who he is. Being on Dancing with the Stars,
it's big.
It's not big. It's massive.
Yeah.
That's main
for him.
I know.
Outside of what Total Divas and Total Bellas, he's the only individual male to start his own reality TV.
It's him and his wife
get picked up on USA.
Shout out to his wife. She came out with the outfit.
2 kids.
Snapback is real.
First of all, when they turned around and it was Ms. and Mrs., I popped. That's where I popped. I was like, oh my God, that's so cute.
Rose to the Top is coming back for another second.
I am excited.
I thought it got canceled.
Thank God it didn't, because sometimes that's the breather after Dynamite.
Shout out to Dwayne, and he pointed this out is Cody's not trying to be like John Cena. Cody trying to be like The Miz.
Cody is confused.
No,
and let's talk about that.
No,
real
what
quick.
I mean by The Miz is he tried all the whole outside stuff. See The Miz do it. Game shows and stuff like that. The Miz.
So Miz is the superstar.
Cody, but Cody just recognizes the business.
Again, just go back to what I said. People within knows that. But if you look at the fan who just watch it, how they're supposed to watch it, they'll say. Cody is Cody.
Cody don't know what he wants.
No, he does know what he wants. Cody
he want to be liked. He want to be loved. And,
he wants to be loved.
This nigga had to put himself on fire to get cheered.
And then they still shitted on him.
And they cheered for 2.5 seconds to make sure he was okay. And then they were like, boo.
That table was too close, though. For that
there was a lot of issues with that whole getup.
But the thing about it, that spot done correctly would have been so amazing because the fact that I didn't know that was Brandy. I ain't gonna lie, I'm dumb.
How you didn't know?
I'm dumb. I was like, who is this? No, before she pulled it off.
Okay.
So I was like, who the fuck is this? And then she came in, pulled it up, and I was like, yo, that was dope.
That was fire,
Because I'm not expecting a flaming table on fucking AEW.
It was mad random. It was mad random.
It was mad random.
It was
like nobody saw this coming.
It was mad random. It was good.
And I was
like, but she used the wrong lighter fluid though.
Everything was wrong.
No, everything was wrong. About that move, entire.
It was for that move.
It should have been a power bomb. That's what it should have been.
Boom! One time.
But even if they, if they would have moved the table, if they would have had the table back further, they could have did that. The move he did, he could.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
And he wouldn't have been able to eat the whole fucking table.
He ate the entire table.
But, so watching it, so remember when on commentary they were like, "Yo, what's on his back?" Yeah. And me and Mikey were watching it, and we were like, I don't know, something from the trash. So I think it might have been stuff to help not have him burn because he took the brunt of the fucking table. And I said,
don't think
yo,
it was that. It was
what the
something for
fuck?
the garbage because I saw noodles on his back too.
No, I mean, he definitely got hit with stuff like garbage stuff, but I think there could have been stuff on his back. But regardless of the fact,
The table didn't broke because like,
that
look,
shit was trash.
the fruit that they
The
use,
end.
the fruit that they use, because I have it at home, it's for lighters. It's meaning that the flame gonna go out quick. The proper way to use it, it's charcoal thing, because it hit it and it burns quick. Baron Brandy used the wrong formula.
I'm just
Used the wrong
glad
thing.
Nigga, it was
the
Tony
whole
gave him
spot
that.
was just trash.
Tony gave it to
But
him.
I was
Overall,
just
it was
glad
good.
though that it didn't take her forever to light it, because that was my fear. I was like, oh fuck,
'Cause she's the mom,
this bitch
though.
is
No,
about to be
Remember what happened with
standing
Randy?
there forever.
She's the candle.
Remember when
She-
Randy did it? For the Undertaker, that shit took him mad long to
Took
do.
mad long.
And he said he had so much fluid on him, it could have.
That's what I was afraid for her though,
Yeah.
because but she was smart though with how she did it, how she poured it
she's
out.
A candlelight B.
However,
a
comma
candlelight.
the whole shit, just throw it
No,
away.
but because the thing is, and
The
then he
entire
brought the gold shovel.
Funny.
yo, he took out that flash ham. I said, he don't put that down,
Yeah.
But cause he's making fun of Triple H. But the thing is,
which he didn't have to.
but okay,
BT Dubs.
okay.
No, he did it for the audience.
He did it.
Duh.
He did
He's
it.
trolling everybody now.
He-
and the
he-
golden shovel is like, since I'm always burying everybody, let me
No,
get the
I-
golden shovel.
I understand.
Joke.
No,
I understand.
it's cute, but it is not cute.
I understand it, but the thing about it, with Triple H doing all that, he was a champion. He had fire matches. Everything.
Not towards them.
For the most part. For the most part.
Oh, Triple H?
The Hunter.
Reign of Terror? Woo!
That's
Fire
what,
matches.
that's
Not
what
all
I'm
of them,
talking
though.
about.
That's
Yo,
what I'm
you know
talking
what
about.
period of time we're watching right now, and we have to get the fuck out of it. Is when him and Austin were tag team champions, and they had all the belts.
Oh, classic. Classic.
It was right before the
Classic.
quad.
Yeah,
so
but the
it was
thing-
like, what the fuck?
But the thing is, it works. Like, say what you want to say about his reign of terror.
Jeff Jarrett, too.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Jeff Jarrett said it, too. Like, I told him I hate him. He was like, I was joking. He was like,
Who?
Jeff Jarrett. I
Yeah.
told him that, like, he had a reign of terror. I knew this, but he did put over Rhino. He did put over Raven. He did put over AJ Styles. He did put over Christian Cage.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it made sense.
If you're a champion.
It's the optics. I'm not talking about putting people over. How things looked were great. And then now you look at Cody. I love Cody.
Me too.
I'm never gonna be like, yo, I'm not a fan of Cody.
Hell no, I'm a
I
big
think
fan.
Cody's amazing.
Yeah.
And I see what he's doing, but you look at his matches, this shit don't make no sense. The story, how the storylines go.
To be honest, I didn't even understand why him and Andrade was happening again. So that threw me off.
No, like,
But because then
beefing.
the week before
He took his girl,
he
that's
fucking
why.
kicked he kicked Pac ass. So then I felt like that was I just was left. It left me with more questions than answers.
I understand because
I
it was
think that
like
this was
it was
the
with,
golf
it was from Malachi.
yeah.
And then like they were doing something with Malachi and Andrade versus Pac and Cody. So I
Yeah.
think that's what it is. And then they got involved, but there's no fluidity to these stories. That's the problem.
Because then what? Pac is going against Alistair. First of all, everyone knows that the fucking black miss shit is not real black miss type of shit where now you're injured. So shout out to Pac for fucking selling that shit. Because I was so like, well, I was like, you and I both know that miss shit was nothing. So
I
you
like
having patches or hula ham on a fucking Wednesday night, that threw me the
Shout out
fuck
to
off.
Malachi Black for being so nice. Very nice guy,
Yeah.
person. But like, there's no fluidity to these stories. And that's what bothers me because it's like, this could be better.
And it's not.
It could be better. And then like,
Yo, and then so listen, and listen. Anybody at AEW that listens to our podcast and that knows Cody and Andrade and anybody else, stop throwing the belt into the let that would have been me. Tony would have had to run me some money. There's no way why you are slinging the fuck out of a belt into an audience where someone can really get hurt. Like that shit. I don't, That's where we draw the line. That's why I can't do front row, because I'm not getting spit on. I'm not getting blood on me. You're not going to knock me out by accident. No, none of that
some
shit.
girls like being spit on.
No. But relax yourself. But
Some girls do.
regardless of the fact, when they fucking threw that shit and then threw it back, and Andrade slung that shit, I said, yo, that couldn't have been me. You got to chill. You got to relax over here. But, we're gonna
spit on, but like
we got you. Before Mr. Black comes back, I want to talk about NXT War Games just for 2.5 seconds. Even I know you don't like it, but I actually enjoy it for the purpose of like it being this realm of like new creatures coming up in the game. Like I don't know, it's weird.
I understand. Listen, you're right. New creatures, new people is just done very cheesy, too cheesy for me.
What are you talking about?
I like
NXT 2.0. I like more of. I like it be like. I want them to dial it back a little bit.
There's no depth to that character.
Exactly. So it's cheesy for me. It's too like that War Games match between old and new. That's gonna be fire.
Hot. Yo, and because 2 weeks ago niggas was like, I don't know how they gonna pull off War Games. We was real shaky about it. And then when I watched, because I watched NXT earlier today, I said, yo, they're doing old versus new. That shit is hot.
No, it's fire. That's a great concept.
Shit. And then the fact that
I'm definitely watching.
That the new school got the advantage. The men on the men's side, the new school got the advantage in every like point of the match. I was like, damn, it's okay.
But that's storyline. That's in depth, and I fuck with it. I like what they're doing with that. But for me personally, it feels very 1993.
And I think that's why I like it. Because it gives me, I told somebody that earlier today, I said it gives me WCW Saturday Night vibes.
But it doesn't work with this new generation.
It's weird, but I love it. Because it took me a while, because as I like Joe Gacy, like from the indies and everything, from Evolve and all that. It took me a hot minute to get with the gimmick, but I'm kind of sold on him wanting to be inclusive. I think that is the funniest shit ever.
No, and I
it's certain pieces.
It's like
hard.
what? Like what?
I like them.
Oh, what? You against cancel culture? Why should I care about you?
Yeah, it's
well, no, because then he comes out. Because what I thought was dope this week that they did.
Shout out to our engineer right now. I want you to know that Buffalo's about to lose this weekend.
No, they're not. Because guess what?
I'm going to talk spicy.
Joshy stood up last weekend because he's on my fantasy league. So trust me, I'm tight because I went down 2 spots on my fantasy league. But these niggas can suck it because I'm coming back and I'm in the playoffs. But no, what they ended up doing, which I thought was dope, low key, and I wish they would have went full fledged on it because then that really would have broke the mold. Joe Gacy had came out. It was shout out to Vinny Pacifico because I saw him and I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. So it was Vinny and it was a girl and it was another guy. And then Joe Gacy was gonna literally go against all 3 of them, and then when he got to the female, I was like, "Yo, are they really about to have an intergender match? This is beyond dope right now." But then Diamond Mine had came out, and then Michael Bivens and him started going back and forth on the mic. I don't know. Sometimes in wrestling you just have to enjoy it for what it's worth.
No, listen. I get what you're saying.
And it's one of those programs that I just enjoy it for what it's worth. And I just look at it and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Because even with the what they got going on this weekend, they have they have the women's War Games where I guess old school in a sense has the advantage, and they brought up Kaylee Lee Ray, which I love from NXT UK, absolutely love her. But her and Io are about to show out on this War Games. And then you have hair versus hair, Cameron Grimes versus what's his name? I forgot his name. Little accent he got, cute too. But I like Cameron Grimes, so there's nothing he can do.
Listen, I understand your point of view. You're into that 1993, 1995,
yeah, I'm stuck.
that era type of thing.
Yeah,
I like more of a depth, more. That's why only certain characters I fuck with. Like for me personally, I fuck with Adam with Adam Page because there's a mixture of like him struggling with different shit. They kind of portrayed not the best, but I like that. I like that super baby face coming from the bottom. Now he's a star type of thing. I like the depth, and like me and my brother like the depth, but like NXT 2.0 is very surface level, and it's too cheesy for me. Yeah, there's no depth to what it is, and it's old school wrestling. Like NXT feels like independent wrestling again.
But the thing about it is like the whole 93 era, that was like not the greatest profit year for WWE, and because they had lack of depth with characters. Until Bret Hart came back and all these dudes.
But the thing about they're moving away from the realism.
Yeah. But have depth, you know?
And it's okay, but the thing
I like weird beef where like you're beefing over like a hair commercial or something like that, you know? Like if you're gonna fight beef over something.
Or even whatchamacallit, the Legado del Fantasma guy.
Yeah.
And then the other guy was Zion, whatever his name is, he's fine as fuck. They got a match next week on NXT. And the girl came up to him in the parking lot. See, I like shit like that because they definitely are heavy on like backstage, like you connecting the dots, like certain things don't go unleft.
Yeah.
Because they had like locked eyes while they had while the guys had the tag match in the ring, and then because they have Kyle O'Reilly and the Vaughn kid, he looks mixed and it's weird to me, but they're going against Imperium for the tag titles for Takeover for War Games. Like I don't know, I just feel like it's one of those things of like it just surface. It's like a Picasso.
No,
Make
and
it
it's
what you like,
it's fine, and it's fine, and then that's what NXT 2.0 is. It's to develop these guys to be the future of the company, to be stars, blah blah blah. It's what's funny. I was watching the Ruthless Aggression era.
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2 is actually really 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 good.
Is it better than the first chapter?
Um,
Because the first chapter was a lot of lies. I lived through the era. I watched every episode.
what lies do you think there was?
Dang. I just felt that they didn't really flesh it out certain storylines. You understand? But then again, part 2 came out, so I watched part 2.
I only saw the first episode. I saw the last episode by accident. So the first episode, because I thought the first episode was the last episode, because the way that they brought the tab when you bring it down,
Yeah.
I clicked over to I thought the first episode was the last, but it wasn't. So I watched the last and the first. The last episode was about NXT. The development of how NXT came to be.
So I'm gonna watch it.
So they went from OVW to NXT, FCW, all that other shit.
Yeah.
Then the first episode is actually on the Hollywood Rock.
Okay, I'm
So,
watch that.
so,
Okay,
so
I'm
they
watch
so
that.
they talk about how he became.
So this part 2 is more in depth compared to
Yeah.
part 1.
And he he
Okay.
dropped the Goldberg. They talk about that.
Yeah, they were talking about he lost to Goldberg and stuff of that nature. He didn't job to Goldberg, but
Okay.
that's when Goldberg.
Tomato.
That's
No,
when
but like no, it's just he was leaving. Goldberg is high,
Tomato.
and yeah, like
yeah, Goldberg's Goldberg.
yeah.
That's one thing we have to understand. Goldberg's Goldberg, and I was okay with it. I
was a fan of Goldberg.
The Rock gave me my dream matches, and I think there was a cover of. It's funny that match happened. It's either PWI and
Speaking of PWI,
it's either before we go, PWI did their top tag teams.
yeah,
The Bucks got number 1. What do you guys think?
makes sense. Because the match, like okay, not putting positives behind it. The Young Bucks had definitely the most variety of different matches. Think about it. Cage matches, their opponent's strengths and stuff like that. You put factor error in, then you take away everything else, they should be number 1. Who should be number 1 then?
I don't know, actually.
Yes, that's what it was. I remember this and seeing the movie. And I was like, yeah, I want to see this match. It was World of Wrestling magazine.
What match are you talking about? Oh,
What match?
Goldberg versus The Rock. It was a Goldberg. It was that magazine I remember seeing. I was like, this is the dream match we're waiting for. And I was like, oh shit, this is the match I've been wanting to see. Because I got 2 more matches: Booker T versus The Rock and The Rock versus Goldberg.
Yeah,
But
all those matches.
so you don't think they deserve it?
no, I don't. I'm not totally. I'm not big on. Now their theme song is a bop, but like I'm
So
just
let me ask
not
you
a
a
real
question.
fan.
Who is
per
this?
se.
Who's
Why?
I don't know. They don't. It doesn't connect to me.
Who's the dangerous takers?
So yeah, I don't. 2 out of the 5, I didn't know who they were. Lucha Bros made sense
Usos on
because they
Yeah,
were
number
not
4.
because
Yeah.
they were tag team champions in other promotions too.
Yeah.
So that Lucha Bros made sense. Usos made sense.
Let me look them up.
Yes, I don't want to be ignorant, but yeah, I don't know. Young Bucks. I mean, it's cool for like the glitz and glamour, but other than that, like it doesn't it doesn't
Oh, it's a Japanese
connect to
team.
me.
Japanese teams it's Tahashi and Zack Sabre Jr.
I love Zack Sabre Jr. though.
Okay.
Yeah, they're from New
Absolutely
Japan
love
Pro.
Zack Sabre Jr.
My apologies, guys, for our ignorance.
Well,
No,
no,
we
it's just
didn't
that I
know.
don't watch.
Educate us.
I'm be fair. I don't watch New Japan like that. So like
Oh,
anything depending
New
on
Japan
them,
has that booking where
I'm good.
they fight once and then they'll fight again for a while. How AEW does its booking is New Japan booking.
But that's
so you know what? Then that makes more sense of why I be so like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah,
guys?
because in New Japan they'll fight and they won't fight until again.
I told y'all when
yeah.
they gonna pick up Eddie Kingston and CM Punk in 6 months, and then all of us gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
I said that. Yeah.
That shit gonna be whack. Like I hate shit like that.
But
like,
yeah, it's like
why should I have to wait till a whole new season? Literally.
Listen.
Oh, it's a group. It's a female tag team.
Oh, that's dope.
That's what's up.
Shout out to the
But
females.
here's the thing, though. Who else deserves it? Who else?
What's that about? I mean-
who else
No,
deserves
there
it?
isn't.
It's a list, so
Like,
it's not,
Ring of
it's
Honor.
never about like who deserves. Because that was my thing. I was like, do they count six man tag?
No,
I'd
the
have been
thing is
like,
it's tag team.
Yeah.
because I'd have been like, oh,
No, but the thing about it, the Bucks deserve to be number one. There's nobody else that's the only person I can put above them is the Lucha Bros.
yeah, that's
that's
if
the
I had
only-
to choose,
Yeah.
I would have preferred that. But
And then,
to each his own.
but then the thing about it, tag
It's
team
fine.
wrestling is not.
It's a lost art. On
But
that
then-
note,
Speaking of tag team wrestling, the thing about it in tag team wrestling always been like an issue, even with the even the Attitude Era, because who are the top teams? The Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian. That's it. The whole division revolved around them. So tag team wrestling always been an issue.
well, it was weird because, like I mentioned to you guys, I'm watching the whole. We got to get out of this fucking time period of 2000 and fucking one, but. Also, like when they randomly sometimes put people together, though,
they push
it
them.
works.
Why?
Because what do you mean they push who?
They for some reason why they always push the odd couple tag teams.
Well, because it's the tag team you don't think would ever do any good.
They did the story like 500 different times.
But it's fine. It's different characters. They did it with Austin and Trips. They did it with They did it with Mankind and Rock.
It's cool. You're
They,
right.
They did it with the Bar.
No,
so
it's
fine.
100%. It's cool, but the Bar was actually a tag team. But I feel
Nah,
like
they put them
no,
together.
because why I mean a tag
they
team?
ended up
because
fighting together. They ended up like what they did, like 5 matches, and then they put them together. So they were.
I
they
felt
were
that
not,
there was more of a
they
complete
didn't
tag
grow
team.
up together. As
But
a tag
I'm talking
team.
about they will push the odd couple over the established tag teams in WWE for some reason why, and been going on forever. Kane and X-Pac, Daniel Bryan,
Team Hell No was like one of my
right?
favorites.
Odd couple, even though they were established tag teams already.
But nigga Vince just likes
Just
fucking
random shit.
No, he likes buddy cop movies. That's why he does these tag teams.
But the comics are one of the best.
Yeah, but he likes. I swear this nigga watches Rush Hour
And laugh.
Beverly Hills Cop, and he watches all these buddy
I
cops.
like Beverly Hills Cop.
But he
too.
watches buddy cop movies and just laughs in his office. He's like, ha 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 ha. You know what? Kane, RVD, get over us.
Cade
I was
had to
so
be the most
mad.
random. I forgot. Cade RVD. Cade and Hurricane.
Yo, let me-
Cade and Big Show.
Yeah.
Cade and Undertaker.
Because he goes, hey,
dang.
you're big, you're mean,
Put them together.
RVD, you're funny. Let's. Oh my
Yo, I
God.
wanna.
That's all he
This is
does.
good shit.
I
Now,
want to end it
Almas might be the
on.
new Kane. Almas.
Oh,
and-
did you see what Taker said about him?
Oh, he's the next. What's
Yeah.
his name?
Put some respect. Mark said it. Put some respect on Omar.
Shout out to my son Jay Troy, aka
Nah.
No.
Let
me finish. I got to respect my son Jay Troy, but that's still my nigga.
Cousin-in-law.
He's bucking.
Cousin-in-law is
He's a hater.
tripping.
He's
Straight
Khalid
tripping.
style. What?
Straight tripping.
Khalid is doo-doo.
Cousin-in-law is
Khalid doo-doo.
tripping.
He's just there. Talking about he's like Khalid.
Listen.
Yeah, right.
Put some respect on Omar's name.
Almas, he's way better. He's way fast. Bro, you 7'1". You can't run the ring that you go take 2 steps, you're on the other side.
And he's swaggy as fuck. Anyway.
Swaggalicious.
Any last words before we do sign off? So everybody can go home and be happy and be merry about their ways? No. Upcoming indie shows. Expect the Unexpected is tomorrow, Friday at Ritual Park. Shout out to Main Event. HOG is next Saturday.
HOG.
Shout out to Peter Rosado. We are wrestling next Friday night. At Ridgefield Park. And that's about it for right now. In the tri-state area that I can think of. Anyone that knows any shows or anything like that, put them in the comments. Put them in the Facebook group. Let us know. Each one teach one. All that jazz. Those that have seen the amazing fun we had at WrestleCade tickets actually will be on sale starting January 2022 for next year. So you can go on WrestleCade.com for more information for that, because a lot of people were like, yo, we're gonna go next year, and next year is their 10-year anniversary too, so I think it's
gonna be lit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be lit.
And niggas thought this year was dope, then
I think we're gonna have to get a hotel like in October, like September.
No, I had booked it. I think I booked it like over the summer, to be honest. As long as I can get it like as far out, I can book it in advance. So that's fine. Anything else? Thinking about how many more episodes are we to 200?
I don't know. I gotta look. My bad.
You probably passed it.
That shit.
No, we're not. We're not. I think we're at 190-ish.
That's hilarious. So we'll give you guys an update.
Actually, I'll check right now.
We'll give you guys an update
My
on
bad,
that.
guys.
But once again,
laughing at me.
no.
I come up with a random number.
I'm trying to think anything else. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube page, Jobbertears Podcast Network. To make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook. As always. And
Yo,
then,
shout out to that fan who took a picture with us at WrestleCade, man.
that was so random.
I don't know who he is to this day.
And then there was another guy. I was sitting outside, and there was another guy that came up with his daughter. And he said, yo, I don't mean, because he came up to me, and you know, I get startled sometimes because niggas walk up to me. I'm like, please don't try to holler at me because it's ain't smoke, you won't. And then he was like, no, just respectfully. He's like, I don't mean to interrupt y'all, but.
This is 192. 192.
Oh, okay, cool. He was like, I don't mean to interrupt you or, you know, come at you crazy, but I love your work. I love what you guys are doing. Jobbertears Podcast. I said, thank you. And they introduced me to his daughter. And then he said, yeah, this was her idea. I said, I was like that. I said, I was you growing up. That was my idea, you know, with my parental to go watch wrestling and enjoy that. So, no, it was super dope to
What's that dude's
be
name?
recognized.
Too close corporate with him? What's his name?
Oh, Tantalizing Dan Tony.
Shout out to Tantalizing Dan Tony. Shout out to Tony, man. Shout out to you, what you do with your daughters. Like, people don't understand, like, you're building legacy.
Listen,
and
keep it
you're
within
giving
the
her,
family.
Yeah, keep it in the family. And because of that, she able to own her own network. Shout out to the woman that Charlamagne took aboard from ever, and now she's one of the CEOs. Like, she's basically the woman who runs it, like, of the Black Effect Network. Shout out to dads who's actually in the kids' lives. Shout out to y'all. Like, we don't get enough credit to be in our kids' life. And shout out to the ones who don't look for validation, who does it because this is what a man's supposed to do. Yo, shout out to you, King. Again, like, I pour into you like I pour to everyone else around me, son. At the end of the day, son, this is all we have. This is only us. And this wrestling thing, they don't respect us, but they love us and imitate us. So, King, you keep doing your thing, bro. To me, you are the big brawler brand of this wrestling podcast, bro. It's beautiful out here, King. Keep doing you, bro.
All right, and last but not least, I do want to send a special shout out. As we talked about WrestleCade, I want to end off congratulating and saying thank you to Shane Taylor Promotions and Zuka, of course.
Zuka
and
King.
Tim,
Zuka King.
and Caprice
having the white
Coleman,
kids loving him, B.
And Caprice Coleman. When I tell you these 6 men,
Killed it.
not only killed it, but they made
Murdered
history being 6 men of color, African American
titles.
men with titles, main eventing WrestleCade, the showcase of champions. So want to give you guys your flowers and your shout out because you guys deserve it. You guys made the weekend well more worth it to actually be there in person and be a part of history. But anyway, as always, I'm Janelle from HR here with Wilkins and Mrblacc. # Black Excellence. # we are out.
Life is over, got the hands in motion. If you go with rolling, no need to focus. Traveling states and over oceans, you gotta wait till your coast chosen. Trying to have lines outside the show like Harry Potter releases at Barnes & Noble.